Last time.
The fuck? Just when we were about to find out who the traitor was, I knew it sounded too good to be true.
Hello friends of Meisters, welcome back to more epic soundtracks of Danganronpa 2. Jokes aside, that soundtrack being really awesome still. Last time Nagito died. Why Nagito? I hated him and loved him at the same time. I never expected Nagito to die like this. He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. And he's also supposed to be, you know, the ultimate lucky student. But even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. But everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by him again. We'll never be saved by him again. No. Now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. I'd say it's pretty necessary. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. First, the giant spear. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like it was a fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy. Deliver the final blow of the spear.
Is this your first time looking at this too?
Of course not. This spear is the spear of Ganganir, right?
You definitely just came up with that now.
By the way, I wanted to ask you, where did that spear come from?
I feel like I saw it at Izumi Castle.
What? Izumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Damn you mice! Damn you all to hell!
I see, even he doesn't know what's inside that castle. Designed to be afraid of mice. Poor design choice. Well, more importantly, I need to focus on the investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle. It looks like that part has blood on it too. So they like bludgeoning him with it, like in the back of the head, and then stab him? Jesus, it's brutal. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Look at the size of a human fist, it's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Also, Chiaki mentioned this earlier, but apparently that spear came from Izumi Castle. It might be better if I confirm that later. Ganganir, you say? It's good to meet you again. There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds. This wound looks like a slice. That's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Well, regardless, it doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound. And there's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
There's something strange. Strange what? Look at the palm of his hand. I think that blood is from where his left arm was sliced, but doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. Yeah, it definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it was splattered. Well, that would explain the blood on his palm, but... There's something else that's strange. When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand... Here, there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger. You're right. Why is it only this part? See, it's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. Oh, okay, yeah, sure you win. Whatever, Chiaki. But it's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? It's a good question. Nagito's right wrist. That is not a word. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope. But it looks like the tip of that rope burned off. Could this be the result of a fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? And why did the rest of the rope catch on fire? But that's a moot point, I guess, for now. Feet. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie up Nagito? They also stabbed his legs? Jesus. Why would the killer do something like this? He had to have really hated the poor guy. At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge towards him. Or they might have been torturing him. To torture? I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Well, even if this was torture, there's no doubt that the killer must have held a deep grudge towards Nagito. Refusing to let him die easily, I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. Oh, right, Yakuza and all. But even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? Straight up serial killer stuff here. I think that's all we can find. Wait, what? There's still something I need to confirm? Where? Oh, there's 2 sections here that I can investigate. I see, I see. The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? This knife? It must be from the military base. Military base? Ah, now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife. By the way, it seems wounds on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and arms, he stabbed the knife through his right hand.
Cannot be.
And then they finished him off with a spear? How cruel. Then does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using 2 weapons, a knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing with a knife. Why do they need a spear, or to even use it at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use a spear, Well, we saw something that might be the reason. Wait, what's still strange? I investigated everything. Oh, not his face. Right. I didn't want to look at that. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. Jesus, I looked at his face and haunting. His mouth was covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help?
This is bad.
Jeez, what a horrible look on his face. Blood splattered all over it doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to look at him.
I got a minute, sorry, excuse me. Chiaki moved past Kazuichi and me and squatted down next to Nagito's face. In one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. I'll put it right back away. What? Back right away once I'm done investigating here.
Hey, but putting the tape back isn't the issue. You ungrateful swine. You're gonna get cursed.
Well, she's not really desecrating the body. You need to investigate it. The blood on Nagito's face looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. If that's the case...
It's no use. She's not listening.
Hey.
Hey, both the blood splattered on his face. There's no blood under the duct tape.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles, like it was sticking towards the inside of his mouth, right? Nagito was probably desperately removing his mouth under the duct tape.
Seriously, what's wrong with that?
Which means Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got these wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about?
I don't get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
yep.
Yeah, you're right. Anyways, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. Oh, I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Nagito's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? I'm desensitized, that's what it is. My classmate's dead body is right in front of me. One of my peers is the killer responsible. I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. What interests me is there's a hole in this bear with blood all over it. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably... Those fire grenades that we used to put out the fire. Well, they weren't actually that useful in the end. The fires are only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Well, nevertheless, this evidence really isn't all that strange. I have an idea about these fire grenades, but I'll leave it in the air. Monokuma's dead? There's blood coming out of his stomach. Hey.
No response. He's dead, Jim. Just kidding. I'm not dead.
Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at this factory?
If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you.
You're a stuffed animal too.
Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling oversized garbage?
Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? And why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going through the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood? Did he try to imitate Nagito's body or something?
What are you?
It had nothing to do with that.
You're so evil.
He's probably lying. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there.
What's this?
You seem more pissed than usual these days, Monami. But you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end. We'll definitely take back the seat of world supremacy from Monokuma.
Looks like these annoyances are gone. Anyways, back to the plushie. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. I somewhat do. I think. Maybe. Maybe, just maybe, actually. Lighter. It's an oil lighter. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. If the oil lighter was placed here...
Just kidding.
Ah, an oil lighter. Somebody probably wanted to keep warm.
It's on.
That's a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire.
Well,
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them.
which means
So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Using the oil lighter, Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it?
you are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. It caused a fire to destroy the evidence. That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would want to set fire to their crime scene, but... It's pretty much everything. All that's left is to talk to people.
Like,
I'm not freaking out about it like Kazuichi, but I definitely can't stop thinking about it. When the Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? This rotten school trip is going to end, right? We can finally go back home.
Carefree to the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
oh yeah.
Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey.
What do you mean, something? He's making us kill each other, you know. What could be worse than that?
I don't know. But this is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like you said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about that countdown timer after we live through the class trial. Yeah, I know.
And don't bring up strange stuff like that.
Weighs heavily on people's mind. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling? Yeah, about that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler's heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well,
You can see a grinder right next to it, right there. Can you see it? See that red streak? Oh, she's right. You're right, I definitely see it. It looks like a small red line on the ceiling girder.
perhaps.
Did I say grinder? Is that blood? Blood. The color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Plus, it's in a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. Uh-oh. My ideas are turning around, spinning upside down.
One of us killed Nagito in such a cruel way. It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh.
Oh, that's all you have to say, Kazuichi.
So just as I
If only everyone could go home, nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish this class trial, then we can think about what will happen after. That's about accurate. What about Akane? Mattered for Gundam's killing of Mikans. But it looks like it's different this time. It doesn't matter this time. What doesn't matter? The time. Looks like the time doesn't matter. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of the death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we all doing at that time? What were we doing? Well, right now it's time. It's 12:30 p.m. So it has a clock function. And that means Nagito died 30 minutes ago. Huh? It happened that recently. He's totally a fresh kill. Fresh seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? You're right, those fake bombs were originally supposed to explode at noon. Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. This could be like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Also, their crimes look very detailed, so they would have needed time to prepare. And whoever doesn't have an alibi before he found the bombs is suspicious. Wait, none of us have an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. The killer's goal wasn't just killing Nagito. There should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone to the trouble of tying him with a rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than the fatal one. So what was the reason? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside the warehouse first, okay. That's not a bad idea, actually. Another place we might investigate, I think, would be Nagito's room, and the other people's rooms if they let us. Maybe we can find something there. Oh, there's something right here. An MP3 player. This is an MP3 player. There's even a speaker plugged into it. But why is it here?
Maybe. It looks like that weird music was playing from there. You know, that music that was blaring when the fire started.
Yeah, you're right.
It looks like it busted from getting drenched by the sprinklers. There's no mistaking it. The music was playing from that MP3 player.
I don't disagree with that, but why was the player or killer playing music from this? That is a lot of Monokuma panels all stacked up in a line for some reason. There are a lot of tipped over Monokuma panels. The panels near the curtain in the back is tipped over and burned. Did the fire do that? But why are they scattered like this? The last time I came here, I seem to recall. They should have been neatly put away. Maybe the ones who made this mess.
see?
Look, the tipped over panel by the entrance is really close to the door, right? So maybe the reason those panels all tipped over is... It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Ah, okay, that makes sense. It's not opening. Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it.
I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay?
Didn't I tell you? It'll be fine. I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to it opening it slowly? Akane ignored the protest and with a mighty kick, the door flew open. Could it be, was that it? And there's something else I've been wondering.
Hey.
Those Monokuma panels are tipped over starting from the entrance to the back of the warehouse, right? They seem to be lying on top of each other in a straight line. Yeah, compared to the other tipped over panels, that line is the only one that's neat and orderly. Isn't this clearly strange? Strange, that means we can speculate this was done intentionally. Okay, it is a little strange. Tons of books. There are a bunch of books stacked on top of each other. Apparently they contain Monokuma's poetry and photos. The sprinklers completely soaked them. I can't even turn the pages anymore. Well, it's not like I'm missing much. Is there anything else we're missing? No, there's a single thing we've yet to investigate. Need tons of CDs. On these CDs, they're all copies of Monokuma's music. These should have been burned too. Stupid CDs. They needed to go also. Looks like Sonia is focused on investigating the area, or warehouse, which reminds me, there's something I needed to ask her about. Now that we've pretty much finished investigating Nagito's body, I think it's time to talk to her. Hey, Sonia, do you have a minute? Yes, what is it? I wanted to talk to you about that fake bomb Nagito set in the warehouse. Exploded. Huh? Right before it exploded, you said something like this, right? It is alright, it is not a bomb. Why did you know the bombs were a fake? Well... That's not all, either. When we were looking for the bombs, why were you at the military base? I thought you were supposed to be searching the central island. Plus, when I called for you, you didn't come to the factory right away. Where were you, and what were you doing during that time?
Oh my.
Oh my!
Cannot be.
Do you suspect me? It's a misunderstanding. I'm not the killer. Jesus shit, you son of a bitch! This is Sonia.
I am sorry.
I'm terribly sorry. I was panicking. I shall calm down and explain to you why I was at the military base. When I first explored the final island, I discovered a vast amount of bombs there. Huh?
Well,
At first, I was worried that someone might try to use them for nefarious reasons if I announced it to everyone. So I kept silent the whole time. Does that mean when you heard Nagito planted bombs, you got suspicious and went to investigate them? And as I suspected, the bombs had disappeared. I thoroughly searched for them inside the military base, but the bombs were nowhere to be found. And because you were searching for them, we were late when we all gathered.
please listen.
And because of that, I reached a conclusion. The bombs Nagito brought from the military base, which means they were fake bombs. How'd you find out that the bombs at the military base were fake? Because I attempted to use one of them. What?
I see.
I thought one of the bombs would be strong enough to blast open the door to the ancient ruin. At that time, I still believed the bombs were real. I thought that I could use one of them to gain entrance to the ancient ruin.
However, that plan was an utter failure. The bomb was not real. It was merely a fireworks display. God damn it, all to hell!
See, so that's why you're the only one who knew the bombs at the military base were fake.
I did. As did Mommy as well. She was also secretly peeking at the bomb. Which means...
If those bombs are the exact same ones that disappeared, it would mean Nagito took them. That is why I knew it was a fake. However, I did think it was strange when Nagito blew up the hotel lobby. That's a good point. How do you get a bomb there? That bomb was real. I could not stop thinking about it. But upon further reflection, that might have been Nagito's plan all along. He showed us a real bomb to make us believe that the bombs he set were real as well. If so, then Nagito's actions were extremely calculated, but the problem is his reason for doing it. With this, I have explained everything.
Have a minute.
There should be no more reason for you to doubt me. You're right, I got it. Fake bombs, so that's how she knew. Alright, I'm pretty much finished looking for clues inside the warehouse. I was able to find some clues, but there's still so many things I don't understand yet.
Hold it.
You look worried. Yeah, I am.
Well,
At a time like this, it might be good if you broaden your investigation range. You mean it's good to investigate other places as well. She might be right, there are several things I've been wondering about besides the crime scene. The military base that Sonia reminded me of, the plushie factory next door, Izumi Castle, where we got the spear, or where they got the spear from, and Nagito's room too. If I'm going to understand the rest of his actions, I need to know more about him. I'm pretty sure the others have finished investigating.
can you hear me?
Hey, you guys, isn't it about time we leave this place and try exploring other areas too? In response to Chiaki, the others gathered around her. I agree, I was just thinking about proceeding to another area. It seems we had the same idea. But is it safe? There won't be anyone to guard the crime scene. We don't have a choice. There just aren't enough of us. Besides, we've investigated all we can here.
I guess you're right.
See?
Also, it looks like the clues we found aren't enough to piece this incident together. so we need to search for them in other areas, probably. Oh, alternatively, if there aren't any clues in other areas either, we'd have to give up completely. You don't really need to say that.
Hey!
And it's okay if we leave this place. It's okay! Yeah, I'd say it was. There's no time for us to stand around. In order to survive, there's no other way except to do it. In other words, in order to survive, we need to find Nagito's killer. We need to just do it! And if we don't sacrifice that person, nobody can survive. And that's our reality. That's why there's no time for us to stand around. Every time, like, Hajime says, you just have to do it, I just imagine him flexing like Shia LaBeouf and going, just do it! I don't know why, but every time now. There's a few places we can go. We might as well check the plushie factory while we're already here. There's an enormous machine, but it's stopped for now. Looks like there's nothing related to the incident here. Apparently the bombs that were stuffed on this truck were actually fireworks. Which reminds me, this truck looks like it came from the military base. Nagito must have brought it from there. Other than that, there's nothing particular that catches my eye. The only question is how he moved it, unless it was in working condition. If it wasn't, he would have had to repair this. And how do you even manage this? Ugh, questions I don't have answers to. That reminds me, when we saw Nagito's video message on this laptop. Is he still watching us from somewhere? If he's not, then how did he time his message so perfectly?
No, it looks like the video was set to play after the explosion by a wireless signal from the detonator. But why did he have to use a video message? That's the one thing I don't get.
At that time, Nagito should have already been killed, which means that video was recorded in advance. That's right. Besides that video, there might be data on this laptop that could be used as a clue. With that thought in mind, I tried messing around with the laptop, but it's no use. It's locked. There's no way I can examine this. But if it's locked, then maybe there really is something inside. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Probably not. There could be something useful on there. New life-size Monokuma plushies are crammed inside an enormous basket. Yeah, still. I have never seen so many Monokumas in my life. Well, Monokuma isn't exactly someone you would normally run into. However, while I was staring at all these Monokumas, a thought occurred to me.
Well?
The bomb that went off at the lobby might have been set up here.
Do you have a minute?
If you hide the bomb inside a Monokuma plushie, it would make a frightening weapon. Do you think a group that is forcing us to kill each other would devise something like that?
Amazing!
A plushie bomb is an act of terrorism. Let us rip apart these right away so we can confirm it. Hold on. There's a bomb inside there. Or these wouldn't explode if we carelessly messed with it.
Pie.
Either way, it is all gravy. All gravy? What the hell does that mean?
Enough already!
Stop! There's no bomb!
Hey,
You'll know if you just pick me up, see? All you'll feel is the soft weight of cotton.
I see.
You are right.
However,
Then, where does Nagito obtain his bomb? Or where did he obtain the bomb he used?
who knows?
I wonder. If I'm gonna give you guys a hint, then you should know it wasn't from the military base. To tell you the truth, the bombs there were all fakes.
please wait.
I know that already. You should have said so earlier.
No.
Well, I thought if I kept quiet, it would foreshadow that killing was going to happen. That's why I just now telling you for the first time. Whew, I feel relieved.
But if the bomb wasn't from the military base or this factory, then he brought it from the Octagon. That's the only explanation.
I must say, you have a good eye there, Sonia. Putting a bomb inside one of my plushies seems like a splendid idea. Let's try it.
That is...
Did I say something I should not have said? It's not your fault, don't worry about it. Monokuma just, I guess, like your ideas. It's kind of scary, actually. Thinking about it, though, I think the first game had bombs inside them, actually, now that I think about it. Like the beginning of the game, too. The break room is on the other side of this door. This is where we obtain the fire grenades. Is there anything inside? There's nothing on the floor that looks like a clue, not even trash. Well, there's nothing else we'll really find here. Oh, wait a second. I didn't even notice this monitor before. It's one of the monitors Monokuma uses to contact us. He could just contact us over the radio instead of using an actual screen. Does he just enjoy appearing on the screen each time? Or is he trying to mock us? Either way, it pisses me off. Everything pisses you off nowadays, Hajime. Now we have a few other options. We can go to the military base or Nagito's room. I personally think Nagito's room's a little more interesting, so I'm going to meet you there first, and then we'll go to the military base. Anyhow, friends and Meisters, that's it for today's episode. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like as always. And if you have yet to subscribe to the channel, do so now and join the Academy for more videos just like this one. Friends Meisters, peace out.